I'm Rob from the Dashboard Portable Workshop, and today I'm going to demonstrate the definitive process for setting up our guide rail brackets, whether you're using the dashboard, Festool table, or a table you've built yourself. So these are the guide rail brackets, and if you're watching this, you've probably already bought them. But these are a way that you can attach your tracksaw guide rail, whether it's Festool, Makita, DeWalt, Bosch, Mafell, etc., to a variety of tables. And you have a lot of height adjustment and high accuracy. So I'm going to run through the process of squaring this up to the grid of holes on your table. So the first thing to do is just make sure that these knobs that have the mounting hardware are a bit loose, and so you can easily slide them into the tracks on the side of your table. And so I'm just going to put this in sort of roughly positioned, and what I like to do is tighten the knobs so that everything's contacting, but then back them off a little bit so that I can move it. I just don't want there to be a lot of slop in this as we're setting it up, but I want it to be held. So now let's put the front one in. So nothing to it. Okay, so now we're going to set the position of the cut. And this cut line is deliberately offset from center between holes so that whether you're making a vertical cut or a beveled cut, you will stay within the area between the holes, and on the dashboard in particular, within this replaceable cutting insert. So these are our bench dogs and standard setup arrows that we use for this process. So you just want to take 2 pairs of bench dogs and put them in on the third set of holes away from where your cut's going to be. And then place your arrows inside the dogs, right up against there. And now we'll just roughly position the guide rails with the brackets so we can move into position. So now I've loosened the knobs that hold this pressure bar so that it can move up and down freely, and I have enough room to slip this on. So I'll just lift that, slide my guide rail on there until it gets to the back of the plate. Just leave it the way it is. Also, it helps to have the vertical component just slightly above table height when you do this. So now I'm just going to move the front bracket so that the pin drops in the slot on the bottom of the rail. So now everything's roughly attached, and I can still move them pretty easily. So the simple thing is just slide this right up here against the arrows. So my thumbs are holding tension on the brackets, pushing the guide rail against the arrows. And I'm just going to reach around here with my other fingers and snug up one knob on each side. And then come around, I snug up the other knob. So now the brackets are in their position. The last step is to tighten the knobs that hold the pressure bar and pull your rail onto this pivot plate. So I'm just going to put a little bit of pressure on the rail to make sure, again, it's up against the arrows. Now tighten these knobs. This is the last step. Don't tighten these knobs before you do the rest of it for the best accuracy. So those are nice and snug. Everything's in position. Now we can raise this and pull the setup arrows out, dogs out, and you should be ready to work. Everything should be nice and square to the grid of holes. Now if I drop this onto the pin, it should fall straight on there. I shouldn't need any kind of lateral adjustment. And if you take a look there, you can see that dropped right on the pin. So this indicates everything is in line. I'm not having to put any kind of stress on it to get the rail to be on the front bracket. So the next step is to set up your fences, etc. And this could be the best way to get onto some good square cuts. Thanks for watching.